Have you ever had call reluctance? Now, if you're honest about it, you got to say yes. In all the years that I've been training and managing, I've met one person that I thought really didn't have any call reluctance, and that's because he'd been in sales and marketing for all of his adult life. But almost all the rest of us have at least some call reluctance, and that stops us from finding people who would think are wonderful. So today I've really been thinking about this because we're doing a training session for new agents. And of course, we asked them to make calls for lead generation. And one of them said, well, I don't want to be pushy. My husband said salespeople were pushy and I don't want to be pushy. And I thought, oh boy, here we go. Because we've all met pushy salesperson people, and that's not what I'm talking about. But somehow we have to find a way that's okay with us as salespeople to go find all those wonderful people that would think we were wonderful because we have such a great service to offer. So I've got 3 questions for you. The first question is, how do you like to be contacted? Think of a time when you bought something of significance, maybe a car, a house, something like that. Think of how you like to be contacted. What did you like about that salesperson? How did that salesperson make you feel comfortable? So that's a key to finding out how you're going to be doing well in this business. So number 2, oh, I love this one. Who gets hurt if you don't help them and they go to Mr. Schlock instead? Or Mrs. Schlock, if you like. So feature this. You're standing in line at the grocery store. You're a new agent. Or maybe you're 15 years in the business and have call reluctance, because we do. So you're standing in line and you're next up to the checker. But right in front of you is Josie, and she's had gone to that grocery store for a long time, and she knows the checker, and they're chatting. And Josie says, Mary, I won't be seeing you too much because we're moving out of the area. My husband has a new job, and so we're going to move to another area, and I'm going to miss you. And Mary says, well, I'm going to miss you too. And Josie says, yeah, we're going to start having to house hunt and list our home pretty quick. And you're standing there, and you're like, oh, I should help her. And your call reluctance, oh, I don't want to be pushy. Oh, I don't know. She might find somebody else. She might reject me. And so you don't say anything. You just toss away, what, $5,000 to $15,000 because you have call reluctance. But guess what? Mr. Schlock's standing behind you. And he rocks right around, goes up to Josie and says, Josie, I'm with ABC Realty, and I'd love to help you. And you're like, no, what happened? That's what happened. And I've seen it over and over and over. I've had sales situations where we had an agent in the office, nice guy, and this is what he would do. He would go to open houses, and he would find people, and they loved him. He was great. And he'd form a relationship with them. And he'd bring him in the office. He did a great consultation. He'd show him homes. And this is what John would say. And I want your reaction. Then John would say, now, Susan and Bill, we've seen a lot of homes. I've qualified you. You are qualified to buy. But I don't want to be a part of your decision. So I want you to leave now. Go away. And I really want you to think about it and think about everything that might go wrong and talk to a lot of people. And if you still want to buy a home, then come back and see me. Guess what? They didn't come back and see him. They either didn't buy or went to somewhere else. Now, what's happened in the last few years with home appreciation? How much money did John cost those poor people by treating it as though it really probably wasn't the right decision for them to make, or he just didn't darn care? So a lot of times our call reluctance, we're thinking of ourselves, but we should be thinking of what we're doing to the consumer when we don't lead them graciously through the sales steps. And the last one I want you to ask yourself is, how would it be in the client's best interest to work with you? What about you, your qualities and your strengths and the talents and the skills you bring from your real world? How can you help that client? Because you see, you are exceptional. You are special. And all you have to do is figure out a way to get around that darn call reluctance, because clients are looking for you. But this is the kind of business where we have to go find them. That's why we get paid the commissions we do. So those are the three things. Ask, how do you like to be contacted? What worked for me when I was a real person as a consumer? Number two, who could I hurt if I did not find a way to open the conversation? And third, how can I then find my strengths and my qualities and explain them in a gracious way as I meet people and start working with clients, so I can help them make the right buying decisions for them. Now, I've got a new book I want to tell you about for just a minute. It's called Launching Right in Real Estate, What They Won't Teach You in Pre-License School. Now, you might think that's for people just not even in real estate, but if you're less than 2 or 3 years, I think there's a lot in this book for you too. And managers, it's great to give people while you're interviewing too, save you a lot of time. But the reason I'm telling you this is that the book is on my site, and I put it in what's new and featured. So when you go to my website, you'll see those big buttons, what's new and featured. Just punch one of them and you'll see where the book is, and you could pre-order it now. The reason I'm telling you is in that same area, I'm going to put a link to a very cool thing you can do, which is to find your strengths. So this link will go to a Find Your Strengths website, and it has nothing to do with me. It's free. But what I like about it is it helps all of us figure out what is special about us. It's not egotistical kind of thing. It's so that we retain our self-esteem so that we can go out and help people. So there it is. You're going to banish that call reluctance with these 3 tips so that you can go find clients who will love you.